Welcome back to Deep Echoes True Crime. Today, we unravel a chilling case that cast a long shadow over collegiate sports, a story of ambition, rivalry, and a sudden, brutal end. It involves promising young athletes, a shocking unaliving, and a decades-long pursuit of justice. Remember to hit that subscribe button to join our community and dive into more untold mysteries. This one will truly leave you stunned. Our story begins with Rashaun Jones, a former University of Miami defensive back. Back in November 2006, he was a young man, only around 20 years old, grappling with team discipline issues. Jones had a documented history of altercations and strained interactions with fellow teammate Bryan, indicating a pattern of problematic behavior. It was clear their relationship was far from smooth, marked by significant friction. Prosecutors later detailed multiple incidents between 2004 and 2006, where Rashaun Jones reportedly engaged in threatening behavior or physical confrontations with Bryan. Teammates even testified about a past fight where Jones allegedly made direct threats. On the very morning of Bryan's unaliving, Jones faced a suspension from the team for a second positive marijuana test, highlighting his declining trajectory and increasing issues. Now let's talk about Bryan Sidney Parter. At 22, Bryan was a rising star, a formidable defensive lineman for the University of Miami. He was known for his dedication and potential on the field, a bright future seemingly laid out before him. Bryan and Rashaun Jones were teammates, but their dynamic was anything but harmonious, often described as up and down by those around them. The tensions between Bryan and Rashaun Jones weren't just about football. They reportedly stemmed from personal issues, specifically involving females. Allegations surfaced that Bryan was dating Jones's ex-girlfriend around the time of the unaliving. This romantic entanglement significantly fueled the existing friction, adding a deeply personal and volatile layer to their already strained relationship, escalating the animosity between the two young men. Prosecutors painted a picture where professional envy mingled with personal animosity. They posited that Rashaun Jones harbored jealousy over Bryan Parter's burgeoning football career, contrasting starkly with his own struggles and declining standing within the team. This professional frustration, combined with their history of physical altercations and the alleged romantic involvement, created a highly explosive dynamic. The timing of Bryan Parter's unaliving, mere hours after Jones's suspension, suggested a final, devastating trigger. On November 7, 2006, a seemingly ordinary Tuesday, Bryan Parter finished football practice. The hustle and energy of the field gave way to the quiet routine of heading home. He returned to his apartment complex in Miami, a familiar place where he should have felt safe. No one could have predicted the terror that awaited him as darkness began to fall that evening, marking the end of a seemingly normal day. Later that evening, the unthinkable happened. Bryan Parter was ambushed outside his apartment within the complex. Out of nowhere, he was confronted in the parking lot. The attack was swift and brutal. Bryan Parter was fatally shot in the side of the head, in what authorities would later describe as an execution-style manner. The sudden violence shattered the tranquility of the residential area, leaving a horrific scene. Immediately following the shooting, a critical detail emerged. Paul Connor, a former University of Miami instructor, reportedly observed Rashaun Jones departing the apartment complex. This sighting placed Jones directly at the scene, moments after Bryan Parter was unalived. Connor's account would become a cornerstone of the later investigation, providing a crucial eyewitness identification in a case that would remain cold for years, offering a glimmer of direction. In the immediate aftermath of Bryan Parter's unaliving, Rashaun Jones allegedly made suspicious moves. He was accused of altering his cell phone, perhaps to evade potential tracking or contact. Furthermore, Jones reportedly boasted to others about possessing a gun. These actions, coming so soon after the horrific event, raised significant red flags for investigators, hinting at a desperate attempt to cover tracks and establish a new narrative following the shocking incident. Bryan Parter's body was discovered in the parking lot of his Miami apartment complex shortly after he was shot. The discovery triggered an immediate and frantic 911 call, bringing police rushing to the scene. The sight was horrific, and the initial responders faced a chaotic environment. An immediate perimeter was established, marking the beginning of a long and complex investigation into the senseless unaliving of a young athlete, leaving many questions. The investigation began with critical evidence. Paul Connor, that former Miami instructor, positively identified Rashaun Jones as the individual he saw leaving the crime scene shortly after the unaliving. Connor's identification was later reinforced by a re-identification 7 months after the initial sighting, underscoring his certainty. This consistent eyewitness testimony provided a significant lead, pointing directly towards Jones as the person fleeing the scene of the horrific act, solidifying suspicions. Forensic analysis quickly determined the weapon. A firearms expert concluded that a .38 caliber gun was the most probable weapon used in Bryan Parter's unaliving. This finding gained crucial corroboration through testimony from 2 former teammates. These teammates, who later became police officers and were friends of the Parter family, asserted that Rashaun Jones indeed owned a .38 caliber gun, directly linking him to the type of weapon used in the heinous crime. Prosecutors also emphasized a wealth of circumstantial evidence against Rashaun Jones. His suspension from the team on the day of Bryan Parter's unaliving due to a second positive marijuana test painted a picture of a man in crisis. Furthermore, his alleged efforts to change his phone and his reported bragging about possessing a firearm all contributed to a mosaic of suspicion. This confluence of events suggested a deeper, troubling pattern, adding weight to the prosecution's case. Despite these compelling leads, Bryan Parter's case remained frustratingly unsolved for 15 long years. The initial investigation struggled to bring definitive charges, leaving the Parter family in agonizing limbo. Decades passed, but the commitment to justice never wavered. New technologies and persistent efforts by dedicated investigators meant the case was never truly closed, lingering in the shadows of cold files, waiting for its moment to resurface into the light of day. The breakthrough finally arrived thanks to sustained police work and fresh eyes on old evidence. The collective weight of eyewitness testimony, forensic analysis, and the circumstantial narrative solidified. Persistent efforts by law enforcement agencies, including a new lead detective, meticulously revisited every detail. This renewed focus, coupled with the unwavering determination to bring resolution, finally moved the needle, leading to a long-awaited pivotal moment in the complex investigation. After 15 years, the silence was broken. On August 19, 2021, a joint operation by Miami-Dade Police and the U.S. Marshals Service moved in. Rashaun Jones was arrested in Marion County, facing a first-degree murder warrant in connection with Bryan Parter's death. This dramatic takedown finally offered a glimmer of hope for justice, bringing the alleged perpetrator into custody after more than a decade of freedom, sending shockwaves. Rashaun Jones was formally charged with second-degree murder for the unaliving of Bryan Parter in 2021. Upon his arraignment, Jones entered a plea of not guilty. He maintained his innocence against the grave accusations, setting the stage for a dramatic courtroom battle years later. The legal proceedings commenced, slowly moving towards a trial that would finally attempt to answer the lingering questions surrounding Bryan Parter's tragic fate, years in the making. The trial in February 2026 brought unexpected turns. Jones's defense attorneys introduced a bombshell claim. Information from ICE, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, allegedly indicated the true perpetrator was a Haitian hitman, not Jones. This unexpected development caused a significant delay in the proceedings, throwing a wrench into the established narrative. It immediately created new doubts and fueled intense speculation inside and outside the courtroom, surprising everyone involved. After extensive deliberations, the jury disclosed they were deeply divided, unable to reach a unanimous verdict. A mistrial was officially declared on March 2 or 3, 2026. Jurors expressed strong criticism regarding the Miami-Dade Police Department's initial investigation, describing it as horrible, and questioned the consistency of Detective Juan Segovia's testimony. Rashaun Jones remains incarcerated, with a new trial scheduled for May 18, 2026. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll be right here waiting for you in the next one.